timing, you can counter Adrian Broner every time, you know. Now, for the last segment, if they both, now I wanted to make this really quick because, I mean, we still have till July 29th before this fight, so I could possibly do another breakdown of this fight or give some more thoughts on it. But I didn't want to linger on too much. I just wanted to be direct and straight to the point. Now, if they both come in as their usual self, right? Adrian Broner is still him. You know, he struggles to make weight because he's eating whatever he wants, drinking and partying while he's in training camp. You know, he's not really working on the things that he lacks. He's more or less continuing to train in the things that he does well, which is why Adrian Broner doesn't seem to really transition well in fights or actually adjust and adapt in the ring well, because he doesn't work on having to adapt or adjust. He bases a lot of what he does off his natural ability. Like, for instance, Adrian Broner. When Adrian Broner starts pawing with his jab, he'll paw with his left hand, paw with it. You know right there, he's trying to set you up for a punch. He's pawing with the jab, He's gonna try and throw a check left hook, or he's gonna try and hit you with a straight right, or try to counter with an uppercut. You know, he's pawing with the jab to try and get you to bite, so he can take the half step back, or try his version of the pull counter. He telegraphs a lot of his punches, you know, a lot of them. When Adrian Broner throws punches, a lot of times, especially with his right hand uppercuts and straight rights, he doesn't bring his hands back to his chin. Adrian Broner will go into a high guard, which makes him susceptible to body punches, you know, and he does that periodically. He doesn't do it in a way where he's trying to give you different looks to confuse you, you know, but usually he'll go into the high guard and then he'll start pawing with the jab and slowly bring the right hand down, you know, across his chest, and kind of that Philly shoulder roll type of style, type of defensive posture, you know. But the pawing with the jab thing, I don't think is going to work with Mikey Garcia, because they're both right-handed fighters. I can see Mikey Garcia stepping over to his right while Adrian Broner is pawing with that jab to try to get him to bite, so he can turn and counter. I can see Mikey Garcia, you know, kind of slipping that pawing jab, or jabbing over top of Adrian Broner's jab, you know, or as he paws with that straight that weak left hand, kind of stepping to his right and throwing that straight right hand, you know, or even stepping to his right and countering with the left hook. Mikey Garcia is very smart in the ring. He's very intelligent. You can see him thinking when he's fighting. You can see it happening. Now, Mikey Garcia is a decent counterpuncher as well. He's a decent counterpuncher. Mikey Garcia has power in both hands. Adrian Broner has speed, which generates power. So he has the possibility of hurting Mikey Garcia. You know, if Adrian Broner goes into this fight like we normally see him and just waiting for opportunities to counterpunch, because Mikey Garcia, because listen, Adrian Broner, when he gets off on fighters, it's usually when a fighter like the dude of who was that guy? Oh man, I can't remember his name now. Man, I'm having such a huge brain fart. He stopped the guy. Man, I can't believe I'm having such a brain fart. I apologize for that, guys. I really do apologize for the brain fart. But I'll remember his name soon enough. He stopped the guy in what, like the 12th round, I believe. And hold up. And I mean, hold up. I'm sorry about this, guys. I'm sorry. Hold real quick. Let me look up the guy's name, because I mean, if I'm gonna reference him, I want to, you know, at least be accurate with his name. Khabib Alekverdiev. There it is. Khabib Alekverdiev. He stopped Khabib Alekverdiev in the 12th round. He was starting to like really tee off on Alekverdiev in some of those later rounds, because it got to a certain point where Alekverdiev, who was a southpaw, was walking straight in on Adrian Broner. He wasn't throwing punches, and that's when Adrian Broner will get off on you, kind of like the DeMarco fight, or anybody that stands in front of Adrian Broner and they get scared or gun shy because they don't want to be countered by Adrian Broner. So then Adrian Broner will start piecing you up and letting your hands go. But like Paulie Malignaggi said and showed, if you are active in throwing punches at Adrian Broner, his punch output will lessen. He will throw less punches. He will try and find certain opportunities to counter punch you, but his output is going to be dramatically reduced. You know what I'm saying? Mikey Garcia isn't going to just stand in front of you and walk forward so he can eat uppercuts. You know, he doesn't hold that high guard, which allows you to split his guard with straight punches or uppercuts. You know, Mikey Garcia holds his punches to his hands to his chin, and he always brings his hands back to his chin after throwing punches. Fundamentals. These are fundamentals. Protect yourself at all times. You understand? Adrian Broner, he doesn't always do that when he throws punches, especially his right hand. He will bring his right hand really low after throwing punches. He won't bring it back to his chin, you know. And sometimes, especially his hooks are very wide, sweeping punches that if you get the timing down right, you can make him miss and counter him effectively. But because he doesn't bring his hands back to his chin, it makes him even more susceptible to a counter punch, because you could just catch and shoot with him. He throws one of those punches, get his timing down, catch and shoot, because his hand isn't going back to his chin anyway. So his face is wide open. You know, he'll square up on the ropes if you get him against the ropes. You know, but be careful because he does have good hand speed. You know, he doesn't want to be in close. He doesn't want to be against the ropes. So he'll throw something real quick, 1 or 2 or 3 punches to try and deter you, and then he'll try to get away from that, get out of that situation. So Mikey Garcia applying pressure constantly, working behind his jab, you know, and turning on angles, and basically just thinking and being smart, doing a lot of catching and shooting and feinting, I think will work well for him. And again, this is both of these guys coming in as we normally see them. Adrian Broner's speed in the early rounds will more than likely give Mikey Garcia some trouble because he is fast, but because Adrian Broner isn't going to cut loose like that, and even if he does attempt to, Mikey Garcia, I believe, will be able to weather the storm with his defense and counter Broner effectively, which will stop Broner from thinking he can just let his hands go with Mikey Garcia, even though he won't do that starting off at first anyway, because Adrian Broner will start off in a fight slow, you know. But I think Mikey Garcia is a smart enough fighter whereas though he will eventually get Broner's timing down. He will start to see that Broner pawing with that jab. He'll put that jab out there 4, 5, 6, 7 times, pawing with it, and then he'll try to throw some heat behind it. You know, I think after getting caught a couple of times in exchanges like that with Adrian Broner, Mikey Garcia will read that and be able to see through it in order to get off his offense without walking into a trap that Adrian Broner is setting for him. All in all, I think it's going to be an excellent fight. I see at least the first 4 rounds, you know, being very tough for Mikey Garcia. But as he begins to apply pressure going to the body, because remember, Mikey Garcia has pretty decent power. He showed power excuse me guys. He showed power at 135 by stopping Zlatocanin. He showed very excellent power by stopping Zlatocanin. Zlatocanin. And that was at 135. At 140, will it have the same effect? Who knows? Who knows? But we do know this though, that that even if Mikey Garcia doesn't get Adrian Broner out of there early, which I see a very slim chance of him doing that at 140, the accumulation of punches, the accumulation of damage, because he hits hard enough. I'm sure he'll be able to hit hard enough even at 140 to where as though the accumulation of damage will be enough to where as though he is going to take a huge effect on Adrian Broner's performance going into the later rounds of the fight. Adrian Broner is tough. He has grit. I don't want anybody to sleep on this or think that I doubt Adrian Broner as a fighter. No, he's a great athlete. It's just who he is, his personality. You know, him not being able to wear the mask and be the boxer personality when it's time to be, but then being human, you know, and have some humility when it's not time to be. This is going to be a tough fight. Adrian Broner can't fight. He has speed, he has power. You know, he is going to come into this fight ready to fight. You know, and he's going to come in to this fight depending on his natural abilities and skill, his natural athleticism, which could be a huge mistake because Mikey Garcia isn't just working with his natural ability. He's also working with his dedication to the sport as well. This is going to be a good fight. This fight, I believe, could quite possibly be a split decision, depending on who's judging the fight. I think if we got an all-star panel of judges, it could go to split decision for Mikey Garcia, because at the end of the day, I think Mikey Garcia is going to win on points. If Adrian Broner comes ready to let his hands go, then it's going to be really close and hard to determine. But if Adrian Broner is who he normally is, and Mikey Garcia is who he normally is, Mikey Garcia is going to win the fight on points. You know, piss poor judges. Let me change that. Some piss poor panel of judges, it'll be a split decision. A good panel of judges, it'll be a unanimous decision for Mikey Garcia. Now, I'm not saying at all that Adrian Broner can't shock the world and win this fight. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying based on what we have seen from Adrian Broner, based on what we've seen. Because remember, Adrian Granados was tough. Adrian Granados was not a 140-pound fighter. They eventually made the fight at 147 because Adrian Broner couldn't make the weight. They both missed the first weigh-in, I believe. Then Granados made the weight. Adrian Broner still missed weight, right? You know what I'm saying? I think that Mikey Garcia is tough, probably just as tough physically as Granados. You know, I think he may have just a little bit more pop though than Granados, which would actually be a really good fight. You know what I'm thinking about it. But anyway, this is going to be a very competitive fight. And also, if Mikey Garcia decides to get in close with Adrian Broner instead of staying at mid-range and boxing him from the outside, if he gets in close with Adrian Broner and try to work the inside some, my Adrian Broner will hold you. When he gets hit with something that he doesn't like, he will hold you. You know what I'm saying? He will hold you at all. I like to see how Mikey Garcia is going to adjust to that. I don't see there being a whole lot of that, unless Adrian Broner is just like really not trying to engage, and he literally just wants that Mikey Garcia to hold him. But I see Mikey Garcia working at mid-range, so that he can get his punches off. Although, like I said, Mikey Garcia has some dog in him. He will bang with you. Like, he will bang with you. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to turn it off when necessary. He won't get carried away and get stupid and turn it into a rock and sock and robot slugfest so he can get his brainstem knocked loose. But he will mix it up with you. He will go toe-to-toe with you, and he will bang with you. Seen it. So, all in all, this is going to be a good fight. I think Mikey Garcia is going to win this fight. I would love to pick Adrian Broner. I would love to pick him in this fight. But Mikey Garcia is a different breed of fighter. Adrian Granados was a good fight. And Broner barely won that fight. To be honest, he barely won that fight. And this is no shade to Adrian Granados. I'd love to see him fight again. I'd love to see him fight Broner again, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I think that there were just points in times in the fight where Adrian Granados just couldn't pull the trigger sometimes. He just couldn't pull it. He just couldn't get to Adrian Broner because of his footwork. I believe that Mikey Garcia's ring IQ and his ability to use lateral movement will kind of negate some of that in the Adrian Broner fight. But still, it is a great fight. It is a good fight. I see this fight probably going 7-5, to be honest with you. I can see it could go 8-4, but 7-5, 7-5. 8-4, 7-5, I'll say that. It's not going to be a complete sweep because Adrian Broner is a professional boxer at the end of the day. It's just that, like I said, I would love to see Adrian Broner go in there and do well. I would love to see the brother go in there and fight and put on a clinic. I would love to see that. But the best way to determine what somebody's going to do tomorrow is to look at what they did yesterday. Past experiences have always been the best way to determine what a person's experience is going to be in the future, or past actions, I should say. And Adrian Broner has said all of these things before. He said these things before. He has told us in other fights that he's taking boxing seriously, that he's he's not taking it lightly. You know, he's more mature now. His focus is boxing, nothing else, and this, that, and the third.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, "Fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again."